Next topic is Java Mission Control, JMC in short, and Flight Recorder. So these are the set of topics we are going to cover in this presentation. We'll talk about what Java Mission Control is, and then we are going to cover two major functionality of JMC. The first one is JMX control console, and the second one is a flight recorder. What is Java Mission Control? JMC in short. It is a JDK profiling and diagnostics tools platform, so it provides real-time monitoring of key indicators and events, as you are going to see later on, and real-time profiling and diagnostics. Key aspect of Java Mission Control is that it is designed for production use. Okay, so this is a major reason why JMC was introduced. It's designed for production use. It's built into the JVM, so the JVM has a capability to support JMC with a very low overhead. That's the reason. In fact, it could be used in production environment. In fact, it's strongly recommended that your production application, well, actually JDK comes with it, so the JVM comes with it. Okay, and that leverages already available runtime data. Originally it is from JRocket Mission Control, so it is in fact the result of JRocket and Hotspot convergence. So when Oracle bought the JRocket, they from BMC, I believe, is that BMC or BA? Yeah, one of those two. Yeah, BA. They took an effort to combine the converge JRocket and Hotspot, and the mission control functionality of JRocket is now supported on the Hotspot JVM. It is distributed with a JDK 7 update 40, and it's free for development, but it's not free for production. So this is a catch. Okay, so if you are planning to use in production environment, you have to pay for it. Two main tools that come with the JDKs are Management Console, which is basically JMX console in steroids. So we have seen JConsole. It is actually JMX is a kind of JMX client, right? You can think of JMC is a lot more powerful. The JMX console, a lot more powerful than JConsole. So you can think of it as JMX console in steroid. Another feature that comes with the JMC is flight recorder. So it basically records things in a duration or continuously. So it's a built-in high-performance JVM event recorder. Okay. Again, it could be done in production environment. It is based on plugin architecture. At this point, it doesn't have that many plugins, but these are the plugins that are currently available. JFlow is actually for analyzing the contents of your heap to see if memory is unnecessarily being wasted. Web server related plugin, and also dtrace. Installation, it is simple to install because it comes with the JDK. There is nothing you have to install. Okay, only thing you have to do is just run JMC. There is actually a plugin for the Eclipse, so you can install JMC as part of your Eclipse IDE environment if you want to. Okay, so let's talk about the first major feature of JMC, which is JMX console, Management Console. So it is a tool for monitoring and managing a running JVM instance, and present live data about memory and CPU usage, garbage collections, and thread activity. So this is the same as you see in JConsole, but a lot more detailed. It also includes a fully featured JMX MBean browser, so monitor and manage built-in MBeans in the JVM and MBeans in your application. Okay, so again, this is the capability you see in JConsole as well, but a lot more powerful in JMC. So this is JMX console. So you are going to see lots of features. Okay, so this is overview, and there is an ambient browser, there is a triggers, system, memory, threads, and diagnostic commands. Okay, so we are going to play around each of these in our hands-on lab. Okay, so let's do exercise 1. Exercise 1, only thing you have to do is basically run JMC. So let's just run JMC. And it will give you all the JVMs that are running on your local machine. So we are going to choose, we are going to choose Mission Control as our target application because it is a Java application. Okay, here we go. Okay, so it's getting started. Okay, so you can certainly find information about GMC in the welcome page. Okay, so I'm going to just close the welcome page. So it gives you a bunch of JVM processes running on your machine. So again, I'm going to just choose Mission Control itself as a target application. So start JMX console. And this is what you're going to see. This is overview page. So heap memory usage, CPU usage, and fragmentation, I've said. Okay, so this is what you're going to see. Oh, this is Tomcat. This is Eclipse. Okay, so historical data settings and processor memory, okay, and ambient browser. So these are the information that are available from your JVM. Okay, so these are the set of attributes. Operations, something you can do. This is basically invoking a method. And then these are the notifications, okay, and these are metadata. So we're going to actually try a couple of things. So this is the overview. We just saw ambient browser, and we're going to try the triggers. Okay, so you go to ambient browser and the triggers. So notifications, and triggers. Oh, tab, yeah, so this is, so on the bottom you're going to see triggers. So these are the set of triggers that you can set. Okay, since you're not running WebLogic, we're going to just trigger Java SE. So here, and basically I'm getting the alerts right now. Okay, so when JVM process CPU usage is too high, too low, machine CPU usage too high, too low, deadlock threads, and all those things are going to be detected by the JVM and will be sent to JMC. Okay, close. Well, if you want to actually see the alerts manually, you can click alerts. Okay, so that is for triggers. So this is what we just have seen. You can take a look at the system information. Okay, and filter. Yeah, you can if you want to actually find out the only properties that start with a file, then you can just use this filter. Okay, so let's say system. So this is the key. So if I say I just want to see only file related the properties. Okay. Oh, looks like I'm getting quite a bit of alerts, so I'm going to just uncheck these things. Okay. And memory. So if you click the memory on the bottom here, so you see GC tables. This is young generation, old generation, and this is a pool name. Okay, and you can select, let's say, pick used or whatever. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that's the memory usage. And threads, so you can take a look at the threads. Yeah, so bunch of threads, and if you click one of those, it gives you stack trace for those threads. And check CPU profiling. So let's see CPU profiling. So let's click this guy. Yeah, so so this is the total CPU usage. So this one is taking 0.26%. Okay. That's CPU profiling, allocation. Okay, memory space allocated, and deadlock detection. There is no deadlocks at this point on this particular JVM. And diagnostics. So diagnostic commands, these are the commands that you can execute. Okay, so for example, if you want to find out the uptime is command. So this is, in a sense, is like a method inside your JVM you can invoke. Okay, so let's see diagnostic commands. Click this guy, and let's try uptime and execute. And yes, this is number of seconds that have been up and running. Let's see the VM version. Execute. I'm using 8.0, update 05. Okay. Alright, so that's exercise 1. So I'm going to give you guys about, I'll give you about 12 to 15 minutes to try the GMC. I'm going to finish up the presentation of GMC, and then I'll let you guys have lab time altogether. Next topic is flight recorder on the JMC. So flight recorder produces detailed recordings about your hotspot JVM and the application it is running. And once record is made, then you can analyze the recorded data offline. Okay. The record data could include profiling of methods and logs, garbage collection statistics, optimization decisions, and event latency. It's a bunch of information. You can record in two different ways. One is continuous recording. The other one is time-fixed recording. So time-fixed recording, you say, I want to record 5 minutes. Okay, and once 5-minute recording is done, then file gets created and you are all set. Continuous recording is that there is no end time. You basically continuous record. And if you want to get the recorded data, you have to explicitly dump the recording. Okay. So continuous recording, you can say, I want to continuous recording like a 2-hour range, okay, of up to this point. So in that case, that 2-hour range will continue to move forward. Now, in order to have your application to be recorded, you have to start with the following options. Okay, so unlock commercial features and the flight recorder. So this is what I meant to say before, by the way. FMC has a very, very low overhead. Okay, so there is no reason not to use this option, even though it will actually incur some overhead, but low overhead is very small. I think less than 2%, they say. Okay, so it's strongly recommended that you start your application with this option, even for your production application. Okay, so that's exercise 2, flight recorder, and that is the end of the presentation. Okay, so yeah, exercise 2 is install plugins. Okay, so here help install new software, and you are going to see a few options. At this point, there are not that many. Okay, so you can just install the plugin. Not a big deal. Okay, and then you can create a heap dump once you install the plugin. Okay, exercise 3 is the flight recorder. So here we are going to start the recording of JMC application itself. So you say either flight recorder and then start flight recording, or you can just select the application itself and it will also present start flight recording. So once you click this guy, what you get presented is two options: time fixed recording or continuous recording. So time fixed recording, here I say 2 minutes, and you can give a name to this recording, okay? And then you can also set the event settings, in this case profiling on server, and then you go next. So let's see. So here I'm going to start flight recording, and so I'm actually doing 1 minute. For continuous recording, you can provide maximum size and maximum age, okay? In terms of event settings, you have continuous on server and profiling on server. Okay, so basically profiling on server, lower overhead configuration for profiling, typically about 2% overhead. If you're using continuous on server, low overhead configuration, safe for continuous use in production environment, typically less than 1% overhead. Oh, okay, so maybe in production environment, this is something you want to use less than 1%. That's not bad at all. So here I'm going to actually create the my recording, and then we're going to actually start recordings, and then recordings are being created, and in a minute recordings will be available for me. In fact, it will say it will if you go here, is my recording, so you can see the time, 42 seconds, 41 seconds, and 40 seconds. So eventually it will consume all 60 seconds to record. Funny thing is that once the time is up, this item is removed somehow from this pane. So I don't know why that is the case. Okay, but so all right. So here you can also actually set the if you click the next, you can have more settings. So garbage collector, compiler, method sampling, thread dump and errors, synchronization threshold. Yeah, a bunch of settings you can use. Okay, and so it's actually being recorded. Okay, and you can see this is actually 2 minutes case. Okay, all right. So yeah, so now the recording has been created. So item is actually removed here, but you can see this is the file. So the file is actually in your home directory. Okay, so it's actually doing something to the file. It probably kind of massage the file. Okay, and once that is done, we should be able to actually see the contents of, yes, this is it. So here we have again pretty much same information that we have seen in the JMX console. Okay, CPU usage and general, and again JVM environment, system properties, and recording information. So a bunch of information. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so you can take a look at the memory information and the code information. Yeah, so code. Yeah, so you click code. Yeah, so memory, code. So you can see where during the recording where the CPU spent most of its time. So it spent 27.27% on java.lang package, and let's see, yeah, so you can see where it is actually spending its time. And hot classes, so this is the java.lang class. Java.lang string is actually used the 18%. So and thread information and IO and system web logic events. Okay. Okay, so threads and IO and system and events. Okay. So exercise 4 is profiling Tomcat running pet cleaning Spring MVC application. So this time, yeah, so this is the one, I think. Did it work before? Yeah, it did work. Okay, good, excellent. So we are going to do So here, import pet clinic sample application. Yeah, so again, we are going to use Eclipse. I have actually pet clinic STK MySQL, and actually this sample application is using the HTTP database, so you don't have to actually run the MySQL. But if you can certainly use MySQL if you happen to have it, okay. Or you can just import the pet clinic SDK sample application in which you don't have to run MySQL. Okay, so maybe that's the one I want to actually do. So browse. It's in the labs, and JMC sample JMeter. Yeah, sample. Oh, it's using MySQL. Sorry. Okay, so it's still using MySQL. Sorry. Okay, cancel. All right, so I'm going to use the same MySQL application that we were running in the in our Visual VM case. Okay. Now this time, what we have to configure is that we have to configure with this. Okay. So we are going to again go to the servers, double click. Yeah. So here, and open launch configuration, and set arguments. And here we are going to move we are going to move the Visual VM settings. Okay, so we're going to actually first move this guy. Okay, and then we are going to set this recorder settings like this. Okay, and okay, and then we are going to stop, and we are going to restart. Alright, so we did that. Yeah, so you can also set optional options. Yeah, I should actually rephrase it. So, for example, repository. The file is going to get created in your home directory, but if you want to create in a different directory, you can actually, specify different options. But we're not going to actually use these different options here. Okay, so now we're going to actually restart Tomcat, or we are going to run the application. Okay, so we're going to actually run the application, and we run the application on server. And we should actually see the same result like this. And then we are going to start JMX console, and we might also actually record. Okay. Okay, so it's up and running. Okay. Now we are going to JVM browser. Now we have Catalina. So this is the Tomcat. So this is the one that we want to monitor. So right click it and start JMX console. Okay, so these are basically Mbin browser, and yeah, so if you want to actually see Tomcat itself, it has a lot of JVM information. Okay, so it has actually manager, localhost, yeah, session information. Okay, so and triggers, system memory usage, and thread and things like that. Okay, so pretty much same information. If you actually perform some operations, you are going to see processor and memory will in fact move around. Okay, reflecting your operation. Now we're gonna actually do recordings. Okay, so we're gonna actually do recordings. This time we're gonna call it pet clinic recording, and we're gonna do 3 minutes profiling one server. Okay, and then we are going to do some operations, and yeah, so you should actually see, in the code, you should actually see where CPU is spending its time. So it's spending 10% on Tomcat, HTTP on 10%, Spring beans 10%. We're actually collecting just 3 minutes, so it might not actually reflect the correct overall correct percentage of where it's spent, but you get the idea, right? Okay, so I am going to start recording, and I'm going to say pet clinic recording, and let's actually record, let's say 2 minutes, and yeah, you can certainly set different options here. Okay, and next and finish. So it's going to record. Yeah, so this is going to record. In the meantime, I can actually do some operations. I can add the user. Okay, and home, find owner, find owners, and it's been added here. Okay, I can go with the owner. So yeah, so we have done some pet clinic operations. Okay, so once recording is created, we want to see whether the Spring code has been in fact captured. Okay. Okay, that should be enough operations. Okay, so 34 seconds. Okay. All right, so you should be able to see, the Spring related information here. Okay. Okay. Actually, let me just wait, since this is just the 17 seconds. I'll just wait so that I can record it. Okay. And I am going to give you guys about 15 minutes to do these exercises. Okay, so it's created. Okay, it's loading the recorded file, so I should be able to see memory usage and memory usage code. So let's see the code. Oh wow, why it doesn't actually say anything? Package where the application spends most of its time. Oh, here we go, it takes its time. Okay, so this is Apache, and let's see, yes, here we go. That is actually Spring Pet Clinic JDBC is actually talking to MySQL. Okay, and Spring Framework Beans, and so certainly it spends some time on our application level. Okay. And hot classes, abstract string buffer is spent 21%. So I mean, if this is the case for pretty long recorded result, then certainly you might want to actually find a way to reduce the time that is spent on this class somehow. Let's see. Yeah, so that is actually, yeah, these are hot classes. Yeah, so basically hot class is actually giving you a list of classes with a percentage of time being spent. Hot method and call tree and exceptions. Yeah, it does capture the exception as well. Compilation, class loading. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys about 15 minutes to try this exercise.